Or
So both your characters are very logical, yet they're driven a lot by like love and emotion. So how do you think that Sam and Ty helped everyone in 10,000 BC? How do you think that their leadership style helped everybody survive? And were there any huge mistakes in their leadership that you feel that made it harder for everyone?
hmm. I'll start by saying, it's been such a journey. When I think back to the very beginning of Brea season one, finding each of these different characters and what their strengths are and how and what they bring to the group. And when I look back on it as a whole, I'm really grateful that the people who were there because we needed Sam's strong-headed leadership. We needed Ty's quiet moments. We needed Eve and Gavin, and every single part of the puzzle really comes together beautifully. I think the great thing about season 3, certainly for Ty, is that he starts to question his some moments in his life, I'll say, without giving too much away. And it's nice to watch someone, and I think each of the characters have this throughout, someone who's not quite so sure about where they are or what their place is in the world, and overcome that, or maybe not in some instances. But for Ty, there are definitely moments where he questions his role on screen. So we'll get to see some of that in season 3 as it plays out.
Yeah, I like to think that, gosh,
I think you're back. You're back.
what is it? One of those things where it's like I do this and then like it comes back and hey, it's like I'm in the kind of thing. It's like on the show.
Try again now.
So I like to think that they brought some balance. Had to learn the hard way was not overlooking what someone else could bring to the table and having to think that he had to do it all himself.
Did you get all of that?
I think so. Did you get it there?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I would also love to know each of you going to miss the most about working on this show.
Oh, that's such a lovely question. It's always people, isn't it? It's like being in a family, and there are things that are difficult and there are things that are wonderful, and but you always look back and you're grateful for the elements that were in that family. So as much as it was tricky being on the other side of the world, filming in Australia, and that was also joyful and beautiful in lots of ways too. It always comes down to the people for me. That's the reason I do the job, and it's the thing that I love most about the job is the people you get to work with along the way. So it'll be that for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, outside of missing the fact that working with this amazing cast and crew and just the experience out in Australia, maybe down the line we have the opportunity. The opportunity is there that we could potentially work together again, and that would be fantastic. But the show itself, is what I would really miss. The surprises in the scripts, and getting a script and seeing where David Applebaum was thinking of taking our next journey, and going, oh my gosh, you want to do that? Wow, how are we going to do that? So like I think what I'm going to miss the most is the show, filming, and the surprises. It was just so much fun, and from the beginning, I always felt it was a special show. I think it was unique and great for us to be a part of.
Speaking of it being special, when I found the show, like I binged the first 2 seasons in 2 days. Like I like absolutely loved it. And it's so obsessive. And it's special, but like I know why I think it's special, but why do you guys think that it's such a special show that is something that people like can't look away from?
Yeah, I think it's unique, and that was what drew me in the first instance. I know Jon said the same thing as well. It's nice to be able to come to a show that is not like anything else on TV. that's so ambitious in its scale, and you know, the VFX, the locations we were filming in, like that's not every day. You know, you mostly get to go to a studio, or maybe you're on a back lot somewhere in LA or New York or wherever. But this was, you know, out in the Australian outback, and we were on a real adventure. Sometimes you'll see really big, epic drone shots of this incredible, you know, landscape we were in, and we were really there. So that was a really unique and special moment to be able to walk onto some sets and be like, well, not sets, be able to walk out into the wilderness and be like, wow, I can't believe we get to film here. It was the adventure, it was the action, it was a lot of fun. So you know, I think now that we're talking about it, I can sort of hold those memories there, and I'm really grateful we got the opportunity.
Yeah, you know, the truth is there aren't that many shows out there that are this diverse, you know, with this many characters, and you know, and they're so relatable in their own ways to so many people that are watching the show, and dealing with very human things, and finding themselves in this strange new world, and having to deal with all that. So you have your Hollywood type of big, you know, film like a Jurassic Park with all the CGI and all the effects, and then you have at the heart of it this diverse group of individuals. You know, that's why to me it was so special, because there's not a lot of that on TV, and I think a lot of people can relate to it in this sci-fi world, which was limitless, and with the time travel and the crossing over of things, you know, it was just there's so many places it can go. That's why I find it so special.
What would you say each of you are most proud of when it comes to your work in the past 3 years?
Oh, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you know, I'm just so proud of being able to get to know Chiké and to get to know the rest of the cast. You know, just such an incredible group of people. You know, from Natalie Z, Owen, Jack, you know, Zyra, just on and on. You know, Scott. You know, it's just, I can list everybody, but it's just incredible group of people, and the crew, which I had an opportunity of working with on another project out in Australia a few years back. So to meet up with so many of them again, and you know, I'm just proud to have had been a part of it. You know, I thought, like I said, I thought it was something that was going to be special, and you know, I, I'm proud of. I gave 100% all the time, and hopefully, it's something that, you know, people will be able to watch over and over again, and feel the passion that we put in, and how special it was to us, and hopefully they'll feel that. And so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of how passionate everybody was to try and make La Brea the best thing that we could.
Yeah, and I'll jump on that and say, I sort of alluded to this earlier in a different answer, but I'm really proud to be able to complete a story. You know, to be able to tell a story from the beginning through the middle to the end, and to be part of such a cohesive whole in doing that. Because, you know, as a kid, when I was, you know, first thinking about being an actor, it was always the stories. It was the ability to be able to throw yourself in with a group of people and tell this unique story. And then, you know, when you get into your career, it's not always the case that you get to finish it. It's not always an option for you. So I feel really proud of David Applebaum, what he created, and the fact that we were able to stick the landing like we did.
Yeah.
One last question. If you guys could, I'm just going to steal your question from last time, Jon, real quick. What if you guys could survive or describe season 3 in one word, just one word? What would it be?
Gosh, I bet the other people have better answers or quicker answers. I'm going to say one word for season 3: conclusion.
Satisfying.
I'm holding you to that. Like that's
This,
a satisfaction of an ending.
Ah,
Aw.
that's a picture
Is
from
it
season
at
one.
the end of season 1.
Oh,
That's lovely.
That's so lovely. I love that.
that's amazing.
Thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. You know, can't wait to see the ending. I've seen the first 3 episodes of season 3 and it's absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you.
Same, ready for the back 3. Did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
You guys.
Have a good night.
Great one.
Bye.